haven't seen a paper boy in a while. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is a good day. Today we're going to talk about the Sightmark Mini Shot M-Spec pistol red dot. The good, the bad, the ugly, and all that good stuff. I have a quick story before we get into this. A very relevant but quick story. A few months ago I reviewed a Sightmark rifle optic and I wasn't impressed. It wasn't a good review. I didn't really love the optic. My friends made fun of me for reviewing a Sightmark, but I don't care. I love reviewing all products, and I got to give Sightmark credit. Is they were very professional about it. They contacted me. They were proactive and said, "Hey, sorry you didn't like the rifle optic. We would love to send you one of our pistol optics. We really, really believe that you'll like the pistol optics." To be honest, I wanted to say no, but they were so professional and so cool about it, and they went around it the right way. I said, you know something, send it to me. I'm not going to promise I'll do a review. If I do a review, I can't promise it's going to be good, but I would love to take a look. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to quickly talk about the features of this optics very quickly, and then we're going to talk about the testing. I think I want to spend a little bit more time on the testing than normal. Who keeps on texting me every video lately? I beat this optic up a lot more than I normally do, and it took the abuse, it took the beating, it held zero, so I want to spend a little bit of time on the testing. Alright, when I first saw this optic, it reminded me of the Loophole Delta Point Pro. The shape, the look, the design of it is very similar to the Delta Point Pro. The second thing I noticed, obviously, is going to be the value and the price it comes in. If you guys don't know, Sightmark is very budget-friendly optics. This thing comes in at less than $200, just under $200, and it does go on sale for even less than that. The third thing I noticed was the confusion with the footprint. Took me a long time to figure out before I got it. When they said they were sending it to me, I'm looking what footprint it works with, and their website wasn't great. This is what it said on their website. I put it on the Glock MOS. It spent most of its life on the my Glock MOS. I put it on my SIG X5 Legion just for a few magazines, and then I put it on this riser that you see here for a few magazines through a rifle as well, but it was a little confusing for me. Excuse me, I'm choking on nothing. The battery type in here is a 1632, which is good to go, very common battery. The life is between 300 and 30,000 hours, depending on the brightness setting you have it on, and I'm going to say that's about average. I've seen worse. I've definitely seen a lot better. A few of the new optics are a little bit better. And then it has an auto shut off after 12 hours. So you let this sit for 12 hours, it shuts off, saves some battery life, which is good to go. It has two brightness adjustments, one up and one down. Very basic. There's 10 brightness settings. They are night vision compatible. Those buttons also turn the optic on and off. Like if you hold the down arrow for a few seconds, it will turn that off. I like that they have the two buttons compared to one. Like again, going back to the Loophole Delta Point Pro, it only has one button, and that's a bit of a pain. I like this that it has two buttons. The disadvantage is that the buttons stick out a little tiny bit, and they're very low on the optic. And the reason that's a disadvantage, certain holsters, especially if they have a very high sweat guard, may rub in and hit those buttons. I've reviewed a Blade Tech something or other holster with two very high sweat guards, and almost every time I drew the holster out, the optic was off or the brightness was adjusted, and I couldn't quite see the red dot, and that's a problem. That's a bummer. So be careful with what holster you use with this optic. Maybe not get anything with a high sweat guard. The adjustments, you have very standard windage and elevation adjustments. They are 1 MOA per click, which is fine, whatever on a pistol red dot. They are not tactile or audible at all. So it is a little tough to know where you're spinning and where you're clicking, and it may take a few extra minutes to get the dot sighted in. Your body's aluminum, the shield around it is steel, and that's what I think helped it survive all the drop tests that I did. The steel shroud around it got beat up really good, but the dot is good to go. Speaking of the dot, it is a 3 MOA dot to my eyes. It's crisp, it's clear, the glass is clear, no issues there. You can take a look at the dimensions and the weight, again, sub $200. And then as far as accessories, it comes with this high mount for an AR type shooting, comes with a low mount for AK shotgun, whatever. It comes with a little neoprene cover, some screws, and all the normal stuff, cleaning cloth, etc., etc. Testing. Now this is again where I want to spend a little bit of time. One, because of the reputation Sightmark has. They don't have the reputation. Like if this is an aim point, I wouldn't be as worried. And I really gave this thing a really, really good beating. There's no doubt I hit it off stuff more than I shot, and I shot a lot. Like, I think Aaron Cowan would be proud if he saw all the times I racked and beat the snot out of this thing. Actually, he wouldn't care. Who am I kidding? He doesn't actually. He doesn't actually care. So this is what we did. We dropped it 5 times on the hood, right onto gravel, rocks, whatever. Dropped it 5 times on the hood, and it survived that, no problem. I racked it 1,000,000 times. I racked the gun using the red dot 1,000,000 times. Now, I don't recommend you do this unless it's an emergency. I did it for testing just to make sure this thing was good to go. I tried every single time I was loading this gun to rack it off whatever was around, plastic barrel, wood barricade, tables, whatever I had. I tried racking it off something several times, putting the magazine in, racking it one more time off something, and then sending those rounds downrange. Now, I also racked it off the back of the red dot and the front. Like, typically you rack it off the front to rack the slide, but I turned it around and hit it off the back because the slide doesn't give that way. When you rack it off the front, the slide gives away. Off the back, the slide doesn't move that direction. So I thought it was a good abuse. And I did it so hard so many times, the Glock MOS plate actually curved a little tiny bit up. And it was funny, when I shared this on social media, people flipped out saying, "You're a moron, you don't know what you're doing, the screws are too long, that's why the Glock plate is bent." No, I'm not that much of a moron. The Glock plate was bent because I beat this thing up so bad, not because I used the wrong size screws. Anyway, as far as shooting, I put at least 500 rounds through my Glock 17 with this optic attached. I'm reviewing a lot of other accessories on that Glock right now, some sights, some other small accessories, and the pistol red dot was on there for the ride, and that allowed me to put a lot more rounds through a gun with this optic attached. As you see, it's on this high mount right now. I also did put it on an AR-15. I only put 2 or 3 mags through that AR-15, being this is a pistol red dot. I wanted most of its time in testing to be on a pistol. Now, part of the reason I did so much destructive testing, was so rough on it, not only because Sightmark reputation, but also on the website, and I'm going to quote, "built for law enforcement officers and armed professionals." When I saw that, I said, all right, if they want to play in that arena, they're going to make sure this is as durable as those professionals need it to be. And that's why I was so rough on it. And again, no breaks, no issues, no problems. It held 0. It was good to go. That is the summary of my testing. All right, let's talk about the pros and the cons, and then you boys and girls can get out of here. Obviously, I talk about price. The high value at Sightmark is something you have to talk about. I can't believe I'm going to say this sentence with durability and Sightmark in the same sentence, but this optic was very, very durable. Again, I told you all the beating that it took, and I did not have any issues. I like that it has 2 buttons up and down instead of that single button design like the Loophole has. At the same time, the buttons can be a con as well because they got pressed accidentally by a holster several times. I don't think they're in the best location, or maybe if they were sucked in a little bit more, that was a bit of an issue. The adjustments are not tactile. I didn't make it much harder for me to sight in, but if someone is not as familiar with red dots, it may take you an extra few minutes. And then the battery life is decent. I'm not going to say it's a pro or a con. There's definitely a lot of pistol red dots that have a better battery life, and there's some that have a few, so whatever you want. Overall, I gotta say I was impressed. I went into this review again with low expectations just because I have 0 experience with Sightmark, and if you believe everyone on the internet, they have very, very low a very low reputation of being very, very low quality. Again, with that said, I've reviewed both of these optics, and I was very rough with both, and neither one of them broke. So as far as durability, I think they are good to go. Let me thank Sightmark for not only sending me that other rifle optic, but sending me this pistol one. No, a free optic does not buy my opinion. I know some people are going to think that. I don't sway my opinion for a free product at all. I always give you my pros, cons, and what I think of it overall as honestly as possible. And I really got to thank them for being so professional. When I did that poor rifle optic review, they were very, very professional how they went about it. And not all companies are that professional. I have several companies who won't even return my email anymore because I said something bad about their product, but I don't care. That's the way it is. All right, we got some new swag. If you think I'm cool and you want to be cool like me, we have shirts, we have patches. The link is down in the video description. That really helps me out. I started a second YouTube channel. They're quick, short, 30-second videos, YouTube shorts. The link down there is if you want to give me a follow. It's a backup channel in case this one gets zapped. Again, I appreciate it. Most important, thank you for watching. It is greatly appreciated. If you think I deserve it, like and comment. It's free, it's helpful, and why not? If you really think I'm awesome, subscribe to the channel and enable the bell notifications. Once again, it's free, and it definitely helps me out. I will see you guys next time. Peace!